Hi, ladies. How are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya on ISM, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. You all remember that there is a Palestinian woman who actually came out to talk about how people are saying they are going to vote for Kamala Harris, especially Black people, that people should count her out. And the truth is that we are not expecting anybody to come in agreement with Black people or join the movement. It is something Black people are doing for themselves, right? Black people really showed out during the troubles going on between Palestine and Israel. They absolutely showed out, and most of them are still reporting on it to this very moment. But some people think it's also a great time to tell them that you all did not do enough. Why? Because they decided that it's time for them to, focus on what is going on in their own community or in their own country in order to be able to get the best. Because you cannot be the nicest person outside when your house is burning. First of all, you have to start from your house before going outside, which I did not see anything wrong in what they are doing. They need to put their houses in order because I see so many things going on in Black community and I never see any of you show out or speak up against police brutality that has been going on in Black community. You all have platform, but your platforms are not for Black people, but Black people's platforms are for you. Let's get into this video.
Palestinians' names out of your fucking mouth when you're trying to defend your decision for voting for Kamala. I don't give a shit. I am not here to try to persuade you one way or another. I know what I'm going to be doing come November, but my fucking God, just sit with your cognitive dissonance. Don't try to shove it onto the rest of us, all right? Palestine has nothing to do with it, because if you cared about Palestinians, you would not be sitting here saying that you were going to vote blue no matter who. No, you'd be putting these politicians' feet to the flames. You'd be demanding more. You wouldn't be saying, oh, I'm going to vote and then maybe I'm going to try to organize. You who have never organized a day in your fucking life. Just zip it, all right? Zip it. Us Palestinians, sick of hearing your shit.
Now, those of y'all who usually follow me know it is at this point where I would usually have that person's account information up here and hitting them with, is this you? But this is not going to be one of those videos because I intend no hate towards that young lady. I just want to address some of the things she said and remind her of the world of reality we live in. Those of y'all who follow me know succinctly my stance on Gaza and the 75 years of history associated with the conflict in that area. For those of you all who don't, allow me.
Excuse me right quick. I don't mean to bother you, but I need some help. Can somebody tell me why the same people who are in my comment section whenever I say that Israel is engaged in ethnic cleansing in Palestine, tell me I need to go study some 2,000-year-old quasi-mythical history from some Bible in order to understand it. But they're also the same people that tell me when I bring up the documented history of the transatlantic slave trade, slavery in America, and Jim Crow, less than 400 years ago, they tell me I need to get over it. Yeah, can somebody make this make sense in the comment section for me? Thank you. So this is some before and after video for you. Before Israel dropped 6,000 bombs into the Gaza Strip in 1 week, and afterwards. 6,000 bombs in a week are more than the number of bombs that were dropped by Americans' coalition forces in their fight against ISIS in Syria and Iraq in a month.
My stance on Israel's actions in the largest open-air prison on the planet are well documented on my social media pages. But not only that, this is from my camera roll because it is what I was doing over the spring.
So you do not have the authority to be on this property, and you are hereby directed to leave. If you do not leave, you will be trespassed, and you will be arrested. We will not stop, we will not let this go. Not yes, we will not stop, we will not let this go. Not yes, we will not stop, we will not. On behalf of the university, it has been determined that you have violated our policy, so you do not have the authority to be on this property.
This is a public service announcement. I know how some of you all back the blue no matter what and just love your police department. Well, the police in Lawrence, Kansas need your help because they're out of water at their department. That's the only reason I can think of that police officers would become water transport individuals and take the water that was at the University of Kansas protest and no receipt for it. So you back the blue individuals, you all may want to reach out to the Lawrence, Kansas Police Department and see what you can do to assist them. And I know how you back the blue individuals always talking about you need more context, right? So I bought a clip for you.
Those clips were to put in perspective my stance on Palestine and how far I have gone in the past in accordance with that stance, because I was talking about it and attending rallies long before 2023. And understand, I was attending rallies and standing in support of Palestine when I was clearly in violation of my parole in various states and places. So understand, this is not going to be the input of a performative activist at all. I know you mean well, but don't ever presume to talk to those of us who have suffered under the yoke of oppression in this country for over 400 years and still somehow manage to be at the forefront of every protest involving injustices committed across the world. You can elect to sit out, but that sounds like a privileged point, because the ultimate strategy is to understand the system we operate in, and while we work to dismantle it, we have to learn how to use the levers of power available to us to engage in that very dismantlement. See, sitting out is not an option, because that does nothing to move the needle on the yoke of oppression. And if we can't help ourselves succinctly, how in the entire hell are we supposed to help anyone else? But let's not be hypocritical, because some of us choose to stand in unison with you all, even knowing this history, because we realize this history is a part of the colonizer's toolbox. Some of us are old enough to remember Nelson Mandela's visits to Palestine and the support of South Africa in the face of Israel's actions against Palestine. And some of us are old enough to remember also that I don't recall seeing protests for Nelson Mandela when he was incarcerated all that time in Palestine. I have stood side by side with members of the LGBTQ community who have been 10 toes down for Palestine in spite of the treatment of LGBTQ people within Palestinian borders. And they have done so in spite of the very rights they are fighting for in this country being denied in Palestine. I think you should check yourself before you wreck yourself, especially with those who are standing 10 toes down with you, because I went through your page and I don't see you talking about the Congo, where hundreds of thousands of civilians are caught in between warring factions inspired by Western civilization's meddling and their greed. The civilians literally dying on the streets in Haiti as civil war threatens to lead to a revolution that this country hasn't seen since the Haitian Revolution, with much more bloodshed and death to the civilian population because of Western greed. Don't you dare presume to lecture us on cognitive dissonance when we are addressing the issues as best we can in Palestine, while also addressing the issues of genocide in the Sudan, another conflict I saw nothing of on your page. Now, I'm going to extend to you the benefit of the doubts and not assume that your video was rooted in a certain amount of racism. Because even at this junction, we're not just voting for us. We're voting for what we believe we will have the most input over to get the agendas that we have implemented. And those agendas still include the liberation of Palestine, while simultaneously standing in opposition to every other issue I raised in this video and what I have been protesting for over 30 years. See, doing nothing only ensures that nothing changes. And before Kamala Harris said what she did at that rally in Phoenix yesterday about a ceasefire, she said this in Selma, Alabama in March.
The immense scale of suffering in Gaza, there must be an immediate ceasefire.
You may want to be careful on who you tell to keep Palestine's name out your mouth, especially when you're talking to people who have been there from the beginning and are addressing multiple issues at the same time. Have the day you deserve.
So this is all I got from this video, and I already brought this on my Asim, and I thought I'll bring it here too, because the truth is that people care for, they only care about themselves and do not care about we. Black people they've been at the forefront of this protest for how long? And I am saying a very big kudos to you all, because you all came out. I mean, a lot of people even got were fired from job because they were speaking up against what was happening there, right? So it was more like a movie, because you all showed out completely. I saw that. You all even showed out more than you have showed out for even Congos. I am not saying that you all did great, right? I know how many times I reported this, all these Palestine. It was at a point it became, even most of you were telling me it is not our, we have tried our best, or it is no longer our fight. To my greatest surprise, the oldest person could come out to say is that I do not recognize you people, and you all are supposed to put us first. If it is not us, it is not. I mean, we are not going to. Now, it is selfish. It is selfish that people actually showed up for you, did all they could, raised their voices, their platform was all for you, and all that. The truth is that even while they were raising the voices, they told it that anything we are doing is because we are doing it because it is the right thing to do. We are not doing it because we want you all to probably come back and pay us back for being nice to you. Black people actually saw ahead of time. But I think it's time we start, we should lay back a bit, right? It's time to lay back. Why did I say that? I said that because it looks like Black people are going to carry other people's problem. And when they decide to take a break and focus on their own problem, then it becomes a problem. Because tell me, why would somebody come out to say something like this? Like I keep saying, nobody's begging you to vote for a particular person. If Black people decide that this is the person they have chosen to vote for, it is them. You don't have to come out to start arguing or start telling us it is that it's you people's problem, or nobody's going to cajole me or let me, are you okay? Why people were coming out to vote for, to speak up on what was good, did you tell them to come out to speak? Of course, no. And I went through your page. I did not even see protests on some certain things. I didn't even see Free Congo and the rest of it. Sudan, Haiti, and all that. Why are you not talking about it? It is really unfair that people think that Black people are fools, or they can be taken for granted. Why? Because they feel they can do anything and get away with it. You do not bite the finger that feed you. Now, with all this, now, am I telling you that so many people at some point backed out because they saw some certain things ahead of time? And I am going to, if you want me to call names, I am going to call names. And there are also great and movers of, great speakers and, when it comes to Black community, TikTok and all that. At some point, they said they are taking a break and it's time for us to focus on the coming election. I think they saw ahead of time. And they stopped and they said, that doesn't mean that I am supporting G's side, but it's time to talk about what it's affecting us here. Now, you also what happened to Sonia Massey and the rest of them, all the brutality that has been going. How many times have I seen you people? Because most of all this, I am following them, right? How many times have I seen you people come out to talk about some certain things affecting my own community? But my community, we are very quick to come out to to make sure that every other person, it's okay. Why? Because it's something they have lived. It is something that they have experienced. And they want to make sure that no other person is talking about it. And now let me tell you something. You think other people that joined Black people during the protest, because everybody went low, because they did not want to talk about it. Before Black people started calling them one after the other, especially those top people. They started calling them out. You already have to speak up. And the people that actually join because they are not Black people. The people join because it is not Black. If it were to be happening in Black countries or something, nobody would have heard that. Nobody would have even come out to speak. Because Congo, I remember how hard it was for Congo to, for people to start speaking on it. Some will tell you, I am not qualified to speak on it and all that, and then run away. And people came out to support you and be with you, and you also have something you want to say about it. Are you people not the problem? See you all in my next video. Bye for now.